Hello there. Hello, hello. I want to welcome you to Your Pricing Matters. And we are here to talk about some things that every hairstylist, every beauty professional needs to know about hair loss and or alopecia. And so my name is Miki Wright. I want to welcome you here. I am a pricing strategist and I help women to level up and charge what they're worth without fear and guilt, and also help them scale and grow their businesses to reach beyond the 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month mark. So, what does that have to do with hair loss? Well, one of the things we want to talk about, and we have a fabulous expert here today, and we are going to talk about all of the aspects of hair loss. But one of the things that I'm excited about is that I'm going to get to be part of a conference called Alopecia Social, and we are going to talk about some of the ways to structure our businesses so that we can actually serve others and create a great business for ourselves. So we'll get more into that, but I want to bring up my guests, Ms. and Dr. Janice Evans. It's like, so welcome. It's like she is a cosmetologist, she is a hair loss specialist, she's a school owner. She has so many titles, I don't even know where to begin, but I just want to say welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so I've been in the beauty industry for 42 years. I started when I was 16 years old. So I got a long time, a long journey, been seeing the ups and downs of the industry. Also, I recently got my doctorate in alopecia and the beauty industry, also in Christian philosophy. So that's why I got my doctorate in. So in a nutshell, I sat in all the seats, and now I'm a school owner, which pretty much is my baby.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. It's like we are excited to have this topic. It's like some years ago at the Bronner Brothers show, I did a session on, hair loss being the new cosmetology, the new
Yes.
area that we all need to focus on. And it can seem a little scary, a little overwhelming. It's like we're working behind the chair as a stylist. And then we start to see some signs with a client, that maybe the hair is thinning a little bit. Maybe we're seeing their scalp change, or maybe there are other things that they're bringing to our attention, with hair loss or shedding or those types of things where they're seeing kind of more than usual in the comb. So, with your experience, and it's like you have firsthand experience as well as cosmetological experience. So, kind of what came first for you, and what do we kind of need to do to have some of these conversations with our clients and make sure we're getting them on the right track as early as possible?
I think for as myself, what got me here today, as one can see my hair is shaved off, is what's I would say was acceptance and no longer feeling as an embarrassment. And I found out what dealing with women, particularly even men, but women in particular, they shame or felt to feel shame about losing their hair. And they
Mhm.
don't want to be seen. They don't want to be. They don't want to accept it. It is what it is. To even go to this dramatic of shaving your head off, you got to be in a place and position mentally that I'm ready to accept it. I'm ready to let everybody know that I'm no longer hiding behind it. And even as us as cosmetologists, I would say we need to get trained to understand sensitivity training. First
Right.
of all, I think it starts with sensitivity training that everybody doesn't say, "Oh, we're just getting our hair done; it doesn't matter," or "It's a wig," or "We all women." Even there, so sensitivity training comes first, and
Mhm.
understanding what the mental aspect happens when you lose your hair.
Right. Can you speak to that a little bit, from your own experience and from the experiences of others that you've worked with? Like, what are those feelings? Because, we hear the term, our hair is a woman's crown and glory. And, there's a lot of attachment to, the way we look as women,
Yeah, right.
and not
Me myself,
acceptance.
I just love hair. For me to get here, it was a very, very trying time. I hid it for 42 years. For 42 years, I had that secret. No one knew I had alopecia except except my daughters for the most part, and people I would tell. Even in my school, my students even know I had alopecia. My husband, at the time, he didn't even realize that I had hair loss. Oh, he didn't never would see me without a wig or a weave. I
Mhm.
woke up with one on. I went to sleep with one on, and it was
Wow.
traumatic, and it's traumatizing to me to be. I'm gonna be personal in a marriage, and you hide in your head. Not that they would not accept it, not that they look different for you, but I always want to look glamorous. I always want to look pretty. I always want to look the person that he married. Not 20 years later, I'm sitting with half a head or I got less hair than he does. So mentally, it definitely traumatized you, to see one day your hair is gone or you start losing your hair and you can't do anything about it for the most part. And you have to let the world know or come open and say, hey, I look like people make jokes. I'm like Homie the Clown, or half my head is gone or nothing I can do about it. So how do you prepare yourself for it if you can't? You really can't. I don't know how to otherwise say, do
Mhm.
this, and this. It's no way. Today, I still cry.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah, it's very emotional. And so, as I would say, let's say a young hairstylist, I know
mhm,
when I first came into the industry, I was just intimidated by the clients, period. So,
right,
do you know what you're doing?
right.
A lot of like, okay, I'm nervous already. It's like they're feeling like they're making me a little bit more nervous. And now it's like, I think I might see some signs of hair loss. It's like,
Mhm.
how do I approach that? How do I know for sure that I'm not just alarming the client? How do I know how to say the words so it won't be like, oh, you're going bald, or something offensive, but something where they might be able to accept,
All
like,
right.
wait.
Yeah, but I think clients, when they see their hair falling out, they automatically get alarmed. Us,
Mhm,
as professionals and stylists is doing their hair, that's part of consultation. When you see it, when you're going through the consultation, you're going through the scalp analysis, you need to see and analyze the scalp and let the client know, hey, I see thinning here. I'm doing elasticity tests. I see that your hair is shedding out excessively. Or how long have the spot been here? And I start measuring it.
mhm,
I make them aware. Not that they have not seen it or don't notice it, probably why they mention it to you. But if I see it, I let them know since last time you was here, I see that the spot have gotten wider. And I start measuring it. What can we do? We can start doing treatments. What I'm finding out now as a young stylist that we do more of adornment and then rather than consultation and find out what's going on with our client internally, mentally, how did they get here? When clients come to the hair loss, I say, my job now is to find out how did we get here and how can I fix it?
mhm.
Other than what you did last night and where you going tomorrow and all that stuff is important, but how can we fix the problem? The conversation now need to be, how can we fix the problem?
Okay.
And being
Okay.
aware first that they have one, being
Mm.
aware that there's treatments, there's options, and educating ourselves.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It's like, because like sometimes they notice, sometimes they're seeing hair, more hair in the sink, more hair in
Right.
the, comb or what have you. But sometimes, especially if they're coming to us on a regular basis, they come every
Right.
week, they come every 2 weeks. It's like we may be seeing things before they notice anything. So and like you're saying, doing that consultation is definitely key. And I think doing, kind of at least a mini consultation every single time they
Every
go,
time.
even if they come
Right.
every week, is imperative. And
Yeah,
so you're
right.
noticing. Yeah.
I was going to say that too, that no client should become that common, that you're not doing some kind of mini consultation with them every time they sit in the chair. Every time
Mhm.
for the shampoo bowl, there should be some kind of analysis going on, some kind of, analysis of the scalp and the hair so you can see and let them know that I'm watching, I'm looking, I'm on
Mhm.
top of this. You're important to me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I think the consultation says that, that it's like, it isn't just like, oh, we'll go on back to the
No.
bowl and get started. Yeah. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on. And when you're starting to see some of these things, you've had, the consultation, you've kind of expressed that to the client, and they're wanting to find out like what's going on. I know a lot of causes I did a good amount of research some years ago. It's like with men, it's typically like one cause, like male pattern baldness.
Yes.
With women, there's like 7 to 8 different causes, and then there could be combinations of the causes. And
Right.
so, what's your kind of plan of action so that you can address it? Like you were saying, it's like let's see what we can do to
Well,
arrest
first,
it right
yeah,
now.
absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm not in a position to give you a diagnosis. I
Right.
can only express through my experience what it appears to be. And I'm very familiar with alopecia.
Can I pause you just right there?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Because I want you to say that again. It's like, as a licensed cosmetology professional, beauty, aesthetics, barbering,
Right.
we are not licensed to diagnose anything.
No, we're not. And so with that being said, my scope of practice is limited to areas of, I'm a practitioner, I'm not allowed to give you a diagnosis. So you need to go to your doctor, your dermatologist to get a diagnosis. Even with trichology, I cannot diagnose. I need
Mhm.
to go get a doctor to prognose, give me a prognosis, and they bring that back to me. What I
Mhm.
can express to you through my experience, it appears that you may be starting to experience some form of hair loss or alopecia, which is alopecia is hair loss. I'm
Right.
sorry, I put it on do not disturb. But so that's the beginning to get a diagnosis, so we know what we're dealing with.
Mhm.
In turn, they're going to send them back to us anyway,
Right.
so us to give the treatment, us to give us, so they don't style hair, they can't fix it, they only give you some scalp pills and things of topicals, and that's it. So now we got to work with the situation, work with what you're
Mhm.
experiencing. And that comes mentally and it comes physically, Adorning.
Right, right. Yeah, and there's so many like internal causes for the hair loss. And that's, like from hormones to medications to, just general imbalances with the body. And so, do you have certain recommendations or suggestions for your clients in terms of making lifestyle changes that might impact that?
Yeah, I found out that taking a client from just being in a chair getting adorned or hiding it, because I no longer hide it, we're now having conversations. And once I said in the beginning, how did we get here?
Mhm.
And what is your nutrition intake? So now we're going to put them on a regimen. I need to know, what are you putting in your body, because the symptoms is hair loss. What
Right,
caused it is what we need to address.
right.
And what I found out in my industry is that we're so used to, or we as stylists, I don't like to use the word stylists, as cosmetologists, used to just sitting in what color you want, how you want your style, what do you want to look like, not internally knowing that we need to find out what's going on internally, because everything happening internally affects outwards.
Right.
So with that being said, I need to find out how, again, did we get here and how can we fix the problem? At least
Awesome.
start a treatment plan.
Right, right. Yeah, I think that's, so key. Another key thing that you just mentioned with really going into like, what is going on,
What's
you know,
going on internally?
internally, lifestyle, stress wise, hormone wise, all of these different things can impact, and medications.
The medication.
And when we're
Until
doing the consultations,
until
make
we find out what type of alopecia you're dealing with, what type of hair loss you're dealing with, it's kind of hard to even put you in a plan. But we
right.
know, one, it's true fact, you're losing your hair. That's it.
Mhm.
We
Okay.
that's we can just start there. Now, what is the plan of action? And what
Hmm.
I found, I was going to say, I found that it's hard for us to transition from just being the cosmetologist to the trichologist, or even our clients accepting us as a practitioner that operates in trichology. Because
Right.
this is, you just give them a wig, a weave, a cut, a color. But
Mhm.
now when we start talking about your nutrition, your diet, it's like, wait a minute, that's my doctor's information, where I am a practitioner. I am the doctor. I am schooled and trained and to learn and to operate in this area. But
Mhm.
we learn a lot of this stuff in basic cosmetology. But we
Right.
don't put it in practice because we get out of school and go straight to start just serving the clients and doing hair. But I should
Mhm.
have been asking you about the nutrition from day one. I should
Right.
have been asking you about your intake of your daily of your fruits and vegetables, your vitamins deficiencies, your medication. That's all a part of the consultation that we never even really address.
Right.
All we want to know is what color, how you want your hair cut,
Right.
or I can give you a wig, I can give you a weave. And that's the most things we talk about. But when the conversation changes to let's address this hair loss, and it's going to sound more on the medical side,
Mm-hmm.
than the cosmetic side.
Right.
Even our clients have a hard time transitioning to me talking to them that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I guess if I could just share something with, with stylists, it's like start those conversations now, early in your career, wherever you are in your career. It's like start having more than, the Real Housewives conversation and
Right.
the what do you but start talking about them and these things that are playing a role, and it's like become familiar with some of the medications. It's like that's something that I learned from my mom. Always, we're always asking what are you taking, because or have you
Right.
had recent hospital stays that can affect, especially when we're doing more chemicals, more relaxers, but color's a chemical. It's like
Right, so it's a chemical. It's almost foreign for you to now ask your client, "Can I see your medication? Let me see what kind of medications you're on. What you're lacking deficiencies in your vitamin, nutritional." That's like they're like,
right,
where did this come from? What? It's almost like they can't accept it because they're not used to hearing you talk
right,
on that level, where you actually have some minimum, some form of education on it, even in cosmetology school. But when you
right,
further your education, take the trichology courses and different biology courses and things you may learn, they realize that you are more expert in the subject than you show yourself to be.
right,
I'm talking in the lane that I should be talking in the vein all the time. But a lot of
exactly,
times we're not comfortable even talking about it because, like, why are we talking about chemistry? Why are we
hmm,
talking about nutrition deficiencies? Because it affects your hair. Life is in the blood. Let's start there. So if your blood is affected, your hair is affected. For some
hmm,
reason, we think that everything stops right here at the neck, but you got veins, arteries, capillaries all in your head and your scalp that's going to affect the outcome of your hair. And
right,
what you digest it affects your hair. What you intaking affects the hair. What you're lacking affects the hair and
right.
growth and promotion of healthy hair growth.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's like when we talk about medications, you guys have seen the commercials where it's like, oh, it does this, this, and this, and then it's like, oh, well, these are the side effects that
Right.
it's like there's some very common high blood pressure medications, and hair loss is one of the main side
Right.
effects. And it's like we don't always connect the dots, but it's like, yeah, you start taking this, it's like
Right.
one of the side effects. It doesn't necessarily mean that it'll affect you 100%, but in a lot of cases, people are going to have um, hair loss from it. And
Right.
even the fact that you are on high blood pressure medication, like you said, the life is in the blood. And it's like if there's blood flowing, through the body to keep us going, what the body does, because it's so smart, is it goes to all your vital organs first. So
Right.
like your hair and your nails and all that kind of stuff, they're not going to get the full nutrients they need because your body's trying to keep you alive.
Right. I
Yeah.
often tell people if you're drunk, your hair drunk. If you're high, your hair is high. Why? It's all affected by the blood. But our
Right.
clients not used to us talking that way and making it known and sound. Everything's affected by your blood, by intake, by your digestion, by everything. All
Right.
your body and endocrine system is affected.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes hair.
Yeah, yeah. If you think about it, it's like if they want to do a drug test on you, it's like, sometimes they'll, send you with a little cup and what have you. But if they really want to know what's going on, what do?
They cut
They
the
take
hair.
care.
They cut the hair. I tell people often when they see me, and this now is a conversation, and a lot of women comes up to me and talk to me like I have alopecia. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
"What do you have?" I said, "I have alopecia." Some people think I have cancer, but I have an autoimmune. Yeah, but I have, as you said early on, you was introducing. I have several different types of alopecia. I
Okay.
have I have autoimmune. I have CCCA. I also have trichotillomania. I pull my hair out. I have self-induced by also track alopecia. So I have a couple of different things going on. And
Mhm.
when I talk about alopecia, it simply means abnormal hair loss. How do I get to the loss? This is not what I'm so much focused on, but I want everybody to understand it's hair loss. If I have cancer, it's a form of alopecia. It's induced by chemo. If I have lupus, it's a form of alopecia. I still lose my hair. If I have diabetes, I had diabetes till 2018. I was a diabetic. It also contributed to my hair loss.
It does.
So these are things that people need to understand. It's nothing to be ashamed about that you have alopecia. What caused the alopecia is what we need to get to the ground of how once again, how did you get here and what can we do about it? When I changed my diet, you know, my nails start growing. My hair would grow somewhat, but it's never going to go back because I had other contributing factors, which was the CCA. One was genetics. And I had other things I was doing, track alopecia. So I was wearing the wigs, the weaves, and I would just pull it out incorrectly without taking it out correctly. So I contribute to a lot of my hair loss. But some things I did not contribute to, and that was autoimmune.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. And there's still a lot of unknowns with that. But
Right.
yeah, and so yeah, there's so many pieces, so many
Moving
layers
parts.
to this. What do you say?
Moving parts.
Yeah, yep. I mean, it's layered. It's not
It's
just like,
layered.
oh, it's like you have this and we're going to prescribe that. It's like like you said,
Right.
you got to know what's really going on. And so with your your own experience and not sharing your experience, did you feel like you were in a better place to kind of help others who may be coming to you but don't realize that you actually have that experience
Yeah.
going
It put me in a better position as a professional
on?
to now let my clients know we're no longer going to cover it up.
Hmm.
So we're going to actually work on it. For years, I was guilty. I would just cover it up. What kind of wig you want? What kind of weave you want me to do? I can do units. I can do topicals. I can do whatever you want because I was able to do it. You want some braids? I can fix the braids. You can't tell you even got alopecia. So it put me in a better position now that I've come out openly and say, hey,
Hmm.
I understand your feeling. I understand the distress. I understand the depression. I understand how. Look at me. I'm here. Let's talk about it. What can we do about it? I said my latter years of exiting the industry, and I don't know what I'm going to totally exit. I'm going to do education.
Uh-huh.
I'm no longer going to, you can't come and sit in my chair and I'm going to cover you up anymore. I'm not a wig maker for you. I'm not the weave person for you anymore. If you're not willing to come and get some treatments and let's start working on the problem of taking care of your health, I'm not the practitioner you need to come and see. You need to go down the street. I
Okay.
can't help you anymore.
Right. So this is like a great time for us to just talk about Alopecia Social.
All
So
right.
what is it and when is it and why are you doing it? Because I'm excited about it.
Alopecia Social came about when I shaved my hair. It was July the 31st, 2023. I was laying in my bed, and I had just got some braids. Once again, I was covering it up. And I was laying in my bed, and it just dawned on me, I had my hair in them braids for 3 months. Didn't see no growth. Didn't see nothing's changing. My hair was at the same staunch position it was before I braided up in April. Now we are in July. And I took my braids out. I was sitting in the bed and I was laying in my bed. I was going through some other things. And I realized my head, how dead it felt, how it had no life. And I said, there's no life in this hair. It don't even feel real. I was going through a whole actually depression state. Nobody knew I was going through for 18 months. And I got up and I went to my salon and I just started shaving my head off with the clippers. The more I shaved, the freer I became. The more I shaved my head, the closer I got, the more free and liberated I became. And to the point I said, you know what? I don't know what happened, but that day, life transitioned, life happened. Death in, life happened. I came out of my depression state. I felt vibrant. I felt life. I felt renewed. I felt free. And I went home and I was talking to somebody. I said, can you shave the back of my head off, make sure all is cleaned up? And they're like, you really did it. I called my family. I called all the girls first. I said, I shaved my hair off and I did a live chat with them. They couldn't believe it. They started crying. They said, and my granddaughter said, I never thought I would see the day that I would see my grandmother without hair. I never thought I'd see the day that you would go public and let people know you have alopecia. And my other daughter, until this moment, she don't accept it. She's very embarrassed. She's very, it's almost like she hurt for it. But she realized we have alopecia in our family. It's a whole family. My mom, my sisters, my nieces, our kids. So, and my other daughter said, you're so beautiful. I never seen you so beautiful. They asked what their dad thought about it. He said, you're more beautiful than ever. So, and she started crying because she's married and she's been hiding it too. But me
Mm,
coming out and letting people know that I had alopecia started within my family first, of the women saying, I'm going to embrace who I am too. If you can do it,
mhm,
and you can come and feel just free, that you actually walk around with a skin head, bald head, no hair, no wig, no weave, no nothing. And everybody tell you how beautiful you are because you can see the real me. And I'm no
mhm,
longer hiding. So that's how alopecia started. I realized it was July the 31st. That was the end of the month. It was the seventh month. All things came new. Eight became new birth. And
mm,
nine is new beginnings. So it was God's timing. The
mm,
depression stopped. Life began again. I shaved my head. I felt free and liberated. And I started Alopecia Social, where I started going out and saying, you're no longer hiding behind the wall, hiding behind the veil. You're a
mhm,
new person, new life, new blood flowing through your veins. God has uplifted you, liberated you, and freed you. Go out
mm,
and tell somebody. And no
mm,
longer be ashamed of who you are, and what you have. And I started going to the cancer centers. I started going to talk to people who had lupus. I started doing events. So Alopecia Social was formed and birthed and born July the 31st, 2023, when I came out of depression.
mm.
And when I freed myself from the hair and the deadness, the life, the loss I thought I lost, then life started for me.
That is such a testimony. It's like, wow, I'm sitting here
Yeah.
with chills. Yeah.
And so many things happened in that month. You know, I was starting one thing in my life and beginning something new, and
Mm,
it all started with shaving my hair. It started off me shaving my head. That I didn't realize how many people was actually watching me, how many
mm,
people was free that day with me. How many
mm,
people showed up for the first Alopecia Social? It was a nice turnout. It was a free event. It was a celebration
mhm,
of life, of new life. And it was so many people that had this tears, they had testimonies. I got phone calls. One lady came in that she went to Alaska, came back, and all her hair starts the shedding. And she thought something in the water in Alaska. She came back and sat in my shop for 45 minutes just crying. I
mm.
just needed somebody to talk to. I've been an ear for
Right.
many women, for even men. I've done many interviews. They just want to tell somebody their story,
Mhm.
and that I'm free. And no
Yeah.
longer hair is holding me.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
didn't realize how much I've been living with this for 42 years. I've been doing hair for 42 years behind. I didn't know how many people hid behind hair and how
Mm.
I was really not really, I was helping, but not really helping people. You know,
Uh-huh.
I was helping them cover up emotions. I was helping
Mm,
them cover up feelings. I was helping them cover up, helping them stay in shame. It's nothing shameful about alopecia. It's nothing
right.
shameful about cancer. It's nothing shameful about diabetes. It's nothing shameful about lupus. All is contributing factor to hair loss. But
Mhm,
I found out people, I go put a wig on. Why? I don't want to put a wig on. Why? Why not? Because I don't want to. Why
mhm.
should I have to hide up what God have allowed?
Right.
Someone said to me, why don't you wear a wig? What about my hair? I said, God didn't say let there be. Same way he said let there be light and it was light. He didn't say let there be no hair, so I ain't got none. So why am I hiding it?
Yeah. Yeah. Powerful. Powerful.
So
So
the
tell us,
fact is,
yeah, it's like, it's like as you were speaking, it's like and you were talking about, you're shaving the hair off, and how you were starting to feel free as you were shaving it. It's like, and I was reminded, like, hair holds energy. And
energy.
yeah, and it holds, the history and the life and the struggle and the bright spots and all of the different stuff, but it does hold history. So,
People people don't realize how much like you say energy or negativity or positive, whatever it may be, comes with things that we feel values us. And I
right.
have put so much energy, so much emphasis and energy in 42 years of being a stylist and how I got into it because I always wanted to feel beautiful. I always
Mm,
wanted to feel, that I was just pretty. Because it started when I was a young girl. It started when I was a child. My dad did my hair because my mom wasn't in my life. And I always wanted to be pretty. My dad was doing my hair. I was embarrassed. So I wanted like other women. I wanted to look pretty. So that's how I got in the industry. But I realized it wasn't my hair that made me beautiful.
Right, right, right. That's where the power lies. And it's like, I love that. And it's like, yeah, part of what I do is just, seeing that empowerment in women is powerful.
I didn't realize how imprisoned we are.
Yeah.
I no to this moment, I have a hard time putting on a hat. I have a hard time putting on a scarf. And that's that I don't desire to, but I can't. I feel like if I do it, I'm going back in bondage. And people say, well, you still can wear a wig if you want to. I can. I choose not to
Right.
because I need to let everyone know and myself know it's all right if
Hmm.
I choose to walk around. The first day I went outside without any hair, I realized the air had hit my head, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot, my wig. I got my hat." And I was in Walmart, had a blue jean jacket. I'm gonna put it over my head, and I was like, "You know what? Hey, I ain't got no hair. It is what it is. This is me." And I
Yeah.
forget. I really forget I don't have any hair. I was sitting in church. I was clapping my hands. I realized, oh, girl, you ain't got no hair in your head and looking at you. I'm like, oh, well, okay. I mean, I forget sometimes I don't have any. That's how in tune I am with it. But yet, sometimes moment of captivity try to come back and captivate me. And
Right.
like, girl, they looking at you. I'm like, I don't care. It is what it is. God didn't say let there be, so I don't have any.
Hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. Well, you are definitely a blessing to really our whole community. So we appreciate you and just taking those bold steps and really
It's bold.
standing in your
Someone
power.
said to me in the store, Miki, they said, you bold. I said, no, I'm just me.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But it takes boldness and courage to be you. Yeah, for each of us ourselves. So yeah, that's awesome. So you got a big event coming up
I do.
September, and that's just a few weeks from now. So tell us all about it so we can get ready for it.
I'm so excited for Alopecia Social, our second year. And this event is going to be held this year in the convention center, Gifford County Convention Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. It was such a great outpour last time and turnout. We had to take it to another level. We got some dynamic, excellent experts coming in beauty industry. One being yourself, Miki, right? And also we have Tamika James, we have Carla Jones, we have Dr. Dave Ray, we have Tony Kozart, we have Nikki Ferguson. It's the list is keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I really appreciate everyone who said, you know what, I believe in the cause and what you're representing and what you stand for. So it's September the 15th and the 16th, 2 days of training, workshop, panelists, conversation. It's going to be the clients even coming in, talking to their stylists and us as professionals, us educating them. And then the second day is just education for us as professionals, learning more about alopecia, training, sensitivity training, strategy changing, business strategy, faith in the business, how to transition from cosmetology to trichology, talking to trichologists. It's just so much education and workshops and information going to take place in these next 2 weeks. 2 days, the next couple of weeks. Again, it's September the 15th and 16th, September the 15th and 16th. Even that night, we having a gala. It's going to be a dress up, a formal gala. The colors are black, silver, and blue, which stand for alopecia. I'm
Mhm.
so excited. I'm excited about all the guests that's traveling from around the globe just to come and educate us professionals and our clients. And
Yeah.
Bender's going to be there also. So 2 epic days, just 2 days of just powerhouse
Yeah.
speakers.
Wow. Yeah, I'm excited to see everybody that'll be there. But that should be awesome. It's like I've got it scrolling. Alopecia Social, September 14th and 15th. It's going to be in Greensboro, North Carolina.
15, 16. 15, 16.
Oh, I messed that up. Okay, let me take it down.
September the 15th and 16th, Sunday
Okay,
and a Monday.
got it. And then how do we find out about it, being able to attend, being able to vend? What are the
All right,
things?
so you can contact me through social media. Eventbrite's going to be posted on my page. Also, I am on social media, Janice Evans, which is my name. Alopecia Social. We also have a platform there. You can go find the information there also, and I'll be posting it through platforms throughout.
Okay.
The
Awesome.
gala is the cost for the gala. The gala is $65. It's a formal dinner gala, open bar and lots of music and that's social. And
Nice.
also for the event is $79 for 2 days.
For 2 days. Wow. Great deal. Great value. So yes. So for the Sunday, people who are not professionals can come. Is that
They,
accurate
they
for
can come. They can come Sunday, and the panelists are going to happen Sunday. They're going to be able to talk to us, get
yeah,
information, get brochures, get resources, get tools, and so it's for open for the public. And Monday we're going to be professional training.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And it's like like you were saying, it's like a lot of times the clients don't really understand or respect the transition from hairstylist to trichologist, but it's like we often, as you know, as we make those transitions, we're still kind of living in the hairstylist world, in
Right,
terms of prices, in terms of the way that we actually present ourselves, in terms of, the way that we present the value that we bring to the community. And so I
right.
want to speak to some of those things. And
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because I want the clients to hear it. I want the clients to interact. I want them to be able to mingle and talk and get one-on-one information. Oh, this phone is just off the chain.
yeah, yeah. So that should be excellent, this platform. And it's like I wanted to share some of we had so many comments that were coming in as you were sharing, and people are tagging people to come and watch. So thank you all. Thanks for everybody that's watching it live and all your comments. I'm going to share some of them now, but just going to kind of go maybe backwards is maybe the way I should go. So Bobby Montgomery says that's beautiful. And I think that was when you were sharing, about your story. And so we thank you for that. And then Sam McCrae is here in the house. Woo, say that. And so some of these aren't in the context of when they were shared, but we appreciate all your comments and being.
Right. Thank you.
Dorinda Ballard says, "I love your understanding is from experience as well as practicing." And yeah, it gives you a whole
Thank
different.
you.
Yeah, and Sam sharing, inviting people like Micheline Barber and Dave Ray and Kai Smith, and we've got so much going. And he says the life is in the blood. Amen to that. So Dorinda says, thank you for the reassurance. Yeah, and it's like, and we need
You're
that
welcome. Thank you.
in the community. And then what medications you're taking, very, very, very important question. And starting to, as a professional, to start to learn what some of these medications are, because it can sound like Greek. It's like you're taking what?
Right. And the contributing factors to the
Yeah,
loss.
exactly, exactly. And the fact that you are taking medications indicates that there's something not working 100% in your body,
Exactly.
which is going to show up, many times in your hair and, like you say, your nails as you started making changes in your diet and nutrition. It's like your nails started showing up differently. So there's all kinds
Right.
of contributing factors
You
and
know what?
colors are chemicals.
If I can just jump and say this, if
Please.
we can save you from getting to this, then
Right,
my job is done. Everybody doesn't have to. Some people say, I'm not ready to shave my hair off.
right,
We're not trying to get you to shave your hair off. We're trying to get you healthy, so
right.
you won't end up with hair loss. By the time I got here, it was already too late.
Hmm.
Because I already had scarring alopecia. And me, treatments, even though I can take treatments and I'm going to get some hair back, I like to share people the truth. I would get hair right through here in certain spots. But if you can see through this camera, these real shiny spots, there's no follicles. Where
Right,
there's no follicles, there's no hair. So
right.
I don't like to trick people into treatments and think I'm gonna get you a head full of hair. No, can I grow hair? Yes, but I'm not gonna walk around with patches.
Hmm.
We got me healthy, and I'm now healthy. I'm no longer diabetic. Whoop whoop whoop. I'm
Right,
no longer is that candidate for some of the treatments that we offer because I will still have patchy spots,
right.
and I'm not gonna walk around and look like patches.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah,
shave it off. I
yeah.
do it for options, wigs and weaves, or
Hmm.
shave my hair off. I choose to shave mine off.
Right. Right. But I think what a couple of the points you made, it's like it's not about like, oh, everybody should just shave their hair off. That's not the point. It's like we
It's
definitely
not.
want to get, capture these situations that are going on in the early stages. And you
Right.
mentioned shine on your scalp. That's an indicator. So for any
Right.
who haven't had a lot of training in hair loss, when you start to see that scalp change, like the back of your hand
Baby,
is kind
yeah,
of
shining.
well, the back of your hand is kind of matte looking, but it's like, and that's how the scalp should be, where
Yeah,
it's kind of a matte finish to it. When you start to see that shine, it's like that sebum has come up and it's starting to cover over those follicles, and the hair can't push through it. So,
do it anymore. It's like, yeah,
given a really rudimentary analysis
right.
here, but it's like when you start to see that shine, make sure you're having that conversation with your client, because at that point,
Absolutely.
it's more reversible, so that you can get rid of that shine, because you don't want a shiny scalp. So
Right.
yeah, and so Bobby Montgomery says it was good. Thank you for sharing the knowledge. So we appreciate you, Bobby. We appreciate all of you guys who are here watching live, all of you who are watching this on the replay. Please leave your comments. It's like we'd love to know your thoughts. We will drop the information so that you can get more information on joining us for Alopecia Social. And I want to thank you, Janice, for taking time
Thank
out of your
you.
schedule. I know you are a busy lady, and
I'm sorry for the interruptions.
no, no problem. But it's like we so appreciate this. It's like we really need this information. It is. I don't think I announced at the beginning, but it's like I looked up that 33% of women will be affected by hair loss, and
Right.
that one out of every three people sitting in your chair likely has some level of hair loss.
Right.
And for most people that have some signs of hair loss now, it may have started 5 years ago. So we want to capture it now, so it's not another 5 years and we have more permanent type
Right.
hair loss. And if you were wondering about the what's being spent in terms of dollars and cents around hair loss, people trying to get solutions, whether that's hair replacement, whether that's wigs, weaves, or those types of things, whether it's
Yeah.
different topical applications, services that are being provided. There's a lot of different um I want to say rays. I don't think I'm saying the right word, but ultraviolet rays and things like that.
Yeah. Infrared lights and stuff. Yes.
Infrared. Yeah, thank you for that. But that total is at $5.8 billion being
Wow.
in this country, just in the US, not worldwide. And it is a worldwide problem. And the problems are growing. And so you're more likely now to see women with hair loss, and at even younger ages,
Yes.
12% hair loss before age 30. And that
Yes.
some of this is kind of alarming, but it's like really think about your business. It's like I've heard people this summer, it's like, oh, it's slow. Oh, it's slow. It's like, how can you be the solution? It's like people are struggling with certain situations that you have, like you said, your cosmetology training gives you some basic ability to be able to help some of these people at least navigate or move into the next direction or the next person,
Right.
be able to support them. So think about your cosmetology license as a license to be able to help people in a variety of ways, and not just in, well, I'm a stylist, or I'm a cutter, or I'm a,
Exactly.
because you're more than that, and you can help people in a broader sense with that. So,
Yeah. One thing I don't use the word, and I said it earlier. I don't use the word stylist. So my grandson's stylist is on here. My granddaughter's stylist are on the
right.
baby doll. I'm a cosmetologist. If you look at your licensure and your board, it says you're a practitioner.
Uh huh.
So you should be operating in that practice.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, we appreciate the distinctions, the vocabulary. It's like we love that. So, and Bobby says, "Do you have virtual tickets?" Oh, okay. That's a
virtual,
question for you.
that's a good question. I will make it available. I will
Okay.
make
Yeah.
sure it's available.
Okay,
Thank
that
you.
sounds great. That's a great question. Thank you for that, Bobby. And yeah, it's like we're going to wrap everything up here. Like I said, this is your pricing matters, which of course my background is in the beauty industry as a hairstylist or cosmetologist for more than 30 years. We'll say that. And I'm from a family of cosmetologists as well. It's like my mom and my sister as well. And I love this industry, and I'm really excited about really
Me
helping
too.
on the pricing side so that they can get the value that they are delivering can be
Yes.
compensated for it. And
It's,
so,
it's so much more to us than we really know. Can I
right.
just share one story with you briefly? Back in 2007, I read your book, Beauty Superstars. I think is the name of it.
Hmm.
And I called you. I didn't even live in North Carolina. I lived in Maryland. And you and I had a conversation. It's when I first started my state board prep class. So yesterday I was kind of thinking back. I said,
Oh,
I
wow.
wonder if he remember that I called her many years ago and
Wow.
talked to her to the day when I'm actually on your podcast. So it was actually a privilege to be here because I
Wow.
contacted you many, many, many years ago. So it's amazing how God brings things to the forefront and bring it around. Now I'm actually sitting here with you, and you
Right.
actually came to one of my schools and talked to my
Yep.
students, but actually you're going to be part of my Alopecia Social Summit. I'm really excited. I'm grateful for you. And many years ago, I did reach out to you. Now here I am with the famous intimate setting with Miki Wright. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it's like that would have been around. I started the book series in 2008. So
All right.
yeah, so it's been a little while, but
It's
yes,
been a while, but look at us now.
a great opportunity to come and speak with your students. So I'm definitely looking forward to Alopecia Social. So I will be
Thank
there
you.
with bells on, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody else that's coming to educate as well. It's like you got a all-star lineup, and
I,
can't wait.
I do. I'm blessed, and the people are going to be blessed.
Absolutely, absolutely. So mark your calendars now, shift things around if you need to, but plan to be in the rooms, in the house with the gala, getting the information. If you happen to have clients in the area, please send them so that they can have a space that feels safe and that they can
Yes, a safe
get
space.
the information. Yeah, the information that they need. So yeah, thank you so much again, Janice. It's like
And
I
thank
will look
you.
forward to seeing you in person in a few weeks. And like I said, you guys drop any questions, comments, thoughts, or anything in the comment section. And just like the virtual ticket question, it's like things may change.
Things going to change.
That opportunity, yeah. So
Thank
thanks
you.
again. Everyone have a great day. Keep reaching for the stars. And remember, you are worth it.
And thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody. See you soon.